Welcome to the Coach's Corner. Today, we're going to take a look at stage one, zero to $30,000, the validation stage. This is the playlist intro. It's going to walk you through what you can expect to see through the rest of the series. Let's start here. Early money isn't proof, it's a test. Validation isn't something you declare, it's something your audience confirms. Let's get into it. You got your first client, maybe your second, and it was a moment, probably around the time the payment cleared, where you thought, I figured it out. I'm going to stop you right there because that feeling, that rush of early momentum, is one of the most dangerous things that happens in the first stage of building a business. Not because it's wrong to feel it, but because of what most people do with it. Here's what this whole series is about. The distinction between self declared and audience confirmed is what this series will unpack. This stage isn't about proving it to yourself. The validation stage is less about you proving it to yourself and more about proving it to the people who will support you through your business journey, your audience, your clients, and those around you. This stage is not about convincing yourself. It's not about your excitement. It's not even about your first check. It's about creating the conditions where the right people, people with no reason to believe in you yet, confirm it for you. That's stage one. Stage one, the validation stage. Most people think stage one is about landing clients, building a brand, starting marketing, creating momentum. That's not stage one. Stage one is a validation stage, not growth or scaling. The real work is creating conditions for confirmation, building proof that works on strangers, earning validation from people with no obligation to give it. Here's the important reminder: getting friends and family to buy in is not market validation. Difficulty sets in when that well runs dry. You need people who have no reason to trust you yet. That's where you're really trying to get your validation from. Early money is a question, not an answer. The first clients bring a rush. It feels like confirmation, but that experience can go one of two ways. There's the right client and the wrong client, the right signal and the warning signal. The right signal looks like clear expectations, specific feedback. You understand why they said yes. The process is repeatable. The warning sign, it looks like scope creep, unrealistic expectations, fear driven decisions, and ignored red flags. Both are data, but the entrepreneur who gets the most out of stage one slows down to read the signal, not sprint towards the destination they haven't earned yet. Here's what's coming in this series: 4 videos, one conclusion. Each video builds towards the same point. The audience tells you when you have a real business, not your excitement and not your first check. Let's take a look at the first video: why early money creates false confidence, the trap, the pressure, and what to do instead. Video 2 is going to cover the real job, proving it's repeatable. what repeatable means, and how to build it. Video 3. Every client is a 3-in-1 test. Pricing, positioning, and credibility simultaneously. Video 4. What it takes to be taken seriously. Audience perception, the BED framework, and the $100 rule. The arc is intentional. It starts with diagnosis, then it moves into proof, then it shifts into tactics, and then we move on to perception. Watch them in sequence. Where are you starting from? The corporate escapee. Real skills, years of experience, but no clients of your own. The institution generated demand for you. Now you have to earn it from an audience that doesn't know you exist yet. Then there's the side hustler. It's been working on the side well enough to wonder if it could be your main thing. The question isn't whether you're good at it, it's whether you have an audience beyond your personal network that will confirm it for you. Then there's the relauncher. You've been here before. Something didn't work. Going again, but with more clarity. The risk is carrying the same structural gaps into a new idea and mistaking new energy for new proof. All three paths face the same stage 1 test. Can you earn validation from people who have no obligation to give it to you? What audience confirmed validation looks like. Validation is not a feeling, it's a pattern. Strangers pay, not just supporters. The process is repeatable. Clients describe you in your own words, and you can predict the next client. This is where an idea becomes an opportunity. Let's unpack this a bit more. Strangers pay, not just supporters. Friends and family buying in is support, not validation. When people with no personal reason to trust you become paying clients, that's the beginning of proof. The process is repeatable, not just the outcome. One great result is a data point. A repeatable process that consistently produces results is a business. Stage 1 is proving the latter. Clients refer you in your own language. When someone refers you using the exact words you use to describe what you do, your positioning is landed. That's an external signal you can't manufacture. Last but not least, you can forecast, not just hope. Random results are not a business. When you can predict the next client with reasonable confidence, you cross the threshold from idea over to opportunity. The pressure is rarely absent. Pressure shows up in different ways: financial urgency, social expectations, running out of personal connections. This leads to ignoring red flags, competing on price, overpromising, and skipping fundamentals. Recognizing pressure is the first step in controlling it. Let's take a closer look at this. Hidden pressure is what causes most stage 1 mistakes. It shifts focus from earning the right audience to taking anyone who will pay. Where the pressure will come from: necessity, revenue pressure from day 1, family and friends watching to see if it works, The personal connection well running dry. Competing against established businesses too soon. Using early revenue to fund delivery itself. Now let's take a look at what the pressure causes. Ignoring red flags because revenue feels urgent. Competing on price instead of value. Overpromising to close the deal. Skipping foundational elements to move faster. And taking the wrong clients to justify the start. The foundational elements skipped under pressure are exactly the things that would have helped you manage situations and spot red flags before they became problems. Slow down to speed up. From each early client build, there are three things to be able to look at: an FAQ list, a process list, and the objection list. You want to build your FAQ list from every early client. What do people ask consistently? Those recurring questions reveal what isn't clear in your positioning and what your audience needs to hear before they buy. 2, building your process list from what people request. Consistent requests tell you what belongs in your delivery process or what needs to be addressed as to why it isn't there. 3, build your objection list from what made them hesitate. Documenting pushback prepares you for the follow-up responses in real time. It keeps you from being caught off guard when it matters most. One early client used well becomes usable data that protects every future client relationship. That's what slowing down to speed up really looks like in practice. Summary: what to take into this series. 4 key takeaways. Validation is audience confirmed. Early money is a question, not an answer. Pressure creates predictable mistakes. And the goal is real opportunity, not just an idea. Again, let's take a closer look at this. Validation is audience confirmed, not self declared. Your excitement doesn't count. Your supporters don't count. The people with no reason to believe in you, their confirmation is what matters. 2, early money is a question, not an answer. Use it to gather data, build your FAQs, process, and objection lists. Slow down in order to speed up. 3, the pressure is real and it causes predictable mistakes. Recognizing the pressure is the first step in not letting it drive decisions that cost you clients, credibility, and momentum. 4, the goal is genuine opportunity, not just a good idea. When the audience confirms it, the idea becomes an opportunity. That's what this stage is building towards. The validation stage is less about proving it to yourself and more about proving it to the people who will support you through the journey. That's stage 1. If you want clarity on your next move, I invite you to take the entrepreneurial assessment. This is going to let you know which path to choose based on your surrounding circumstances, your personality, and aligning it with the business idea that you're turning into a business opportunity. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. In the next video, we're going to be covering why early money creates false confidence. I'll see you there.